So we got the What the Hales segment, and we got an interesting update. Jeremy Hales tried to have me arrested, detained, charged for sending him some mean emails. And I got the police report. Let's read it. It's interesting. On 8/4/2025 at approximately 3 p.m., Jeremy Hales arrived on station. Reference a harassment report. Mr. Hales stated that he has received over 50 emails from Michael Volpe. Mr. Hales stated that he has told Mr. Volpe not to contact him multiple times. Mr. Hales provided a copy of an email to Michael Volpe at my email address stating, quote, "Do not contact me again. You are being reported for constant harassment. You will be in court, you unhinged mental freak." Information was obtained from Mr. Hales for a report. Nothing further at this time. 8/6/2025 at approximately 1:40 p.m., I, meaning the police officer Dennis, the dirty cop, Dennis Pongratz, I left a voicemail for Michael Volpe and informed him not to contact Jeremy Hales or he would be charged with telecommunications harassment. At approximately 13:42, I called the Peninsula PD and spoke with Chief Nagy, and I swore, "Are you fucking kidding me?" I believe I said that. "I live in Chicago. Come and get me," meaning you're going to issue an arrest warrant in Ohio and try to get me in Chicago. And then about 3 minutes later, I called the dispatch and they patched the call over to Pongratz. I stated that he was violating my First Amendment right. And this guy said, "Don't call Jeremy Hales." This is, if it's on the level, one of the worst examples of police work ever. So if this was a legitimate investigation, number one, they can't just take the screenshot that Jeremy Hales got. They got to go and subpoena the records to make sure. And it's not that Jeremy Hales himself would lie. You can't, someone comes in and gives you a screenshot. You can't assume that's what it is. You have to get the stuff from the provider. That's number one. He says over 50 emails. You'd ask for every email I sent from my email address to any and all of his email addresses. You would have to get those. He says that he asked me not to contact him multiple times, but only provided one email. That's the only time I remember. And if he had done police work, he would have known that right before he said, "Do not contact me again," he also said, "Interesting information, you will be in court." That's a guarantee. And underneath that was a bunch of screenshots that my ex-girlfriend put online. And then he puts more screenshots online and said, "Do not contact me again. You are being reported for constant harassment. You will be in court, you unhinged mental freak." They would know all of that if they had done any police work.
Are you an unhinged mental freak?
Yeah. And by the way, look, it's closed on 8/7. So this whole exercise was to get this guy to call me. And by the way, you and I talked about service. This is kind of similar. It's not good police work to just leave a voicemail. You don't know if I checked it. You can't, you don't know if I got that message. I'm going to keep contacting Hales. What are you going to go and get an arrest warrant? Well, we left him a voicemail and he kept contacting Hales. So this is shoddy police work, but I think it was designed to be shoddy because the entire exercise was for this call right here where he could tell me not to contact him again, this prior restraint by a cop, which isn't allowed. These are dirty cops. I'm not done with the Peninsula, and that's a small town in Ohio.
Mike, here's the point. I think they're afraid of Jeremy Hales suing the Peninsula Police Department. But the bigger problem that Jeremy Hales is going to have, or not, in fact, the Peninsula is going to have, is not Jeremy Hales. He's a small budget. Let's say the guy's worth a couple, $2, $3, $4 million. Who knows how much money he's built from his viewers. But the fact of the matter is, let's say there's somebody bigger, and that's the state of Ohio. And I've already put a package together to get over to J.D. Vance's people and to get it into Ohio and to look at what's going on in Peninsula and in Summit County and look into Jeremy Hales from that perspective, because it looks like there's a dirty cop here. And so this has to be looked at from the Attorney General standpoint in the state of Ohio. and it's got to be looked at from federal oversight as well. And so that's the package that we have together that's going over to the top dog in this, and that will be JD Vance's people. I'm getting that over to those people. I already spoke to some of the people.
I
about
have a
there are things in the works right now. The authorities are involved.
Right. I have a tool called the Freedom of Information Act, which may give me a lot of information on exactly how all of this transpired. Two more things I wanted to add. Megan Fox, my former friend Megan Fox, threatened Bruce Matskin with roughly the same thing. I have already informed you that sending me emails unsolicited is harassment. She used the same word. And I wanted to stop. Any further communication for you will be turned over to law enforcement. Boy, that sounds similar. And that was after Bruce included her on an email to the Florida bar about Randall Shockett, Jeremy Hales' attorney. And wouldn't you know it, the email that triggered Jeremy Hales, I don't know if I got it up, but it's on August 2nd, was about a civil lawsuit that was filed against Shockett. And then I found an article both suggesting that Randall Shockett is unethical. So it seems like, and by the way, Shizzy and Tog and Megan received this email. And this is what triggered them. They don't want to know anything unethical about Randall Shockett, because then you can prove that they're looking the other way about all of his unethical behavior, while going after Leslie Federicos, and even worse, Leslie's husband, who isn't even involved, trying to find any nook and cranny of bad behavior on their part, while ignoring blatant allegations of fraud, deceit, all kinds of things. And that seems to be what triggers the Hales crew. And then they threaten police action when you point it out to them.
It's very, it's your typical Darvo type situation. There's a group of narcissists. It's a narcissistic cult. You have to be a narcissist, or you have to be very, very stupid in order to be part of this cult. And then they basically, everything that they do, they accuse you of doing. That's really what it is. That's their playbook. So, and you wrote a great article about it, talking about Saul Alinsky. You know, Michael's Substack. You go look at that, because he lays it out, and he called them on this months ago already. So it's getting old. It's just a matter of time now before the tide turns on this guy.
Right. All right. And you wanted me to find an email you sent to Randall Shockett.
Probably on Sunday or so. What happened was,
is it this email right here? Time sensitive.
No, that's the one. It's the one after that. The one right after that on Sunday. There's another one after that.
I don't see another one.
It's in that string. It's in that string. Time sensitive. Go back to time sensitive.
All right.
And go down in that string. There we go. Okay. And then,
right
here we go. Start with that one. Yeah, read that one.
All right. Here we go. Mr.
Oh, wait. Let's set it up for a second. Okay. He's sending me a package, and it's not even going to my house. He's got the wrong address. But it's going to a place in Florida that he thinks is my address, and it's a consent to service. He has not served me. April 27th, he named me in the lawsuit, the First Amendment complaint, right? And he had 90 days under Rule 4 of the Federal Rules of Civil Procedure to serve me. He then amended in June, okay, and kept me in and didn't add anything, and didn't change it materially. Didn't add any claims, didn't add me as any other new facts. But he's saying that because he amended in June, he has another 90 days. That dog won't hunt. It's not true. It's false, actually. And so he blew his time to serve me. And so he sends me this letter like a fool, that I'm going to sign a consent to being served by Jeremy Hales. He didn't even send it to me.
Now look, if they send it to the wrong address, can he somehow say you were served?
He's going to show his due diligence in trying to serve me. But all of this is happening after the period expired. The period expired on July 27th. 90 days from August, 90 days from April 27th is July 27th or 28th. Even give it to August 1st. This is all happening 2-3 weeks after that.
The only reason this is really important, because service is generally very, very boring, is because his client, Jeremy Hales, constantly claims you've already been served. He lies and lies and lies. And As a result, they haven't actually filed anything to ask for more time to try to correct the post 90 days. But here's your email.
And they haven't amended the complaint to put my address. Right. The address they said was in New York. And look at all the people that I copied. Mike. Show all the people that I copied. I copied Governor DeSantis. I copied the Attorney General of Florida. I copied.
You copied a lot of people. Let's read the email. Mr. Randy Pocket Rocket Shockett and Mr. Jeremy Germ Hales, with respect to your request for my consent to service under Rule 4 of the Federal Rules of Civil Procedure, reference is made to my earlier email on August 4th, a copy of which is attached herewith for your reference. In that email, I cited 90-day service deadline expired. Rule 4M of the Federal Rules of Civil Procedure allows 90 days to serve a defendant. You first named me as a defendant in the First Amendment complaint on April 28, 2025. The 90-day deadline to serve me therefore expires on July 27, 2025. You may try to argue that the service is timely because the Second Amendment complaint was filed on June 11, 2025. That dog won't hunt. Under the 11th Circuit precedent, Rule 4M, clock runs from the first complaint that names the defendant, not from later amendments that merely repeat the same parties or claims. You cite some case law. Rule 4M's 90-day period runs from the filing of the complaint that first names a defendant. Also see some other case law. You already named me in the First Amendment complaint. You had 90 days from April 25th, and you blew it. Germ has said in the media and on his own social media channels that he has served me at least 3 times. Now, you ask me for consent to service? Inconceivable. I think Jeremy I do not think service means what he thinks it means. I already gave Jerm a chance to cure his legal problem, which was to get rid of you, Mr. Shockett. One way out. Fire Shockett and cure the defect. You have one way out of the disaster. Make me an offer to cure the service defect on the condition that Randy Shockett is permanently terminated as your counsel in this case and any future cases involving me. If you do that, I will consider stipulating a value of service or waiving formal service. If not, if Shockett stays, I will proceed with all available legal arguments at my disposal, and I will win because I, like our great President Donald J. Trump, am a winner. And then you got some photos. Shockett is the cause of this mess. If you want to salvage your case, cut him loose. Consider it the price of re-entering federal court with me properly. Deadline Friday, August 8th. He missed the deadline. Confirm in writing. He didn't confirm. August 8th came and went. Nothing from the Pocket Rocket or the Germ. Now you want me to consent to service on a complaint that you cannot legally serve me under Rule 4. The burden is on you to explain why I would even consider that. The burden is on you to explain under applicable 11th Circuit law why I have a legal obligation to answer these pleadings. If you can satisfy me that there are materially different claims against me, aside from the shotgun of claims that sound in defamation, then I may consider it. You cite some case law. 90-day period runs from the original case. You cite some more case law. At this time, the burden is on you. I am not an idiot. Please tell me why I should consent to service and try to use big boy words. Case citations would be nice too. For your reading pleasure, you give them some article that you wrote and then a nice photo of Donald John.
And then the PS is the most important part. Let's go back to that PS for the audience. This is the news we're breaking here today. There's an offer on the table that I will consider from Jeremy. We'll put this down. P.S.
I am praying for you to the Lord Jesus Christ. It is not too late to change your evil ways. In the very least, release Ray Bonebreak is his name, but Bone Crusher on YouTube, from this lawsuit. In fact, if you release Ray as an act of mercy because of his sick wife, maybe I will consider your offer of consent. You just go on your YouTube broadcast channel and announce to the world that you are releasing Ray from the lawsuit for reasons of mercy, because Springship asked you to, and I will do the rest. Blessed are the merciful, for they will show mercy. Matthew 5:7. Ray's wife is very sick. He's got a frivolous lawsuit against him. And
Ray's wife is Michael. Ray's wife is very sick. She almost died over the last few days. Okay? This man is a retiree that lives in Iowa, that hangs out in his garage and talks to people on the internet. And he just doesn't like some of the things that Jeremy does, and he expressed his opinion over it.
He called
Jeremy Hales is trying to put Ray and his wife definitely into the grave. And that's wrong. He's going to hell for that. He's on the way to hell. And he should get down on his knees and pray to the Lord Jesus Christ to forgive him for this. And he should be repentant, and he should show an act of mercy to Ray immediately. And if he did that, then I'll consider consenting to service with him. If he goes on a broadcast channel and he says,
I got it.
A paint chip says, so moved me to show mercy to Ray Bone Crusher, then we'll make it happen. Okay, Germ? You have my word. You will make it happen.
We got to move on.
I will consider anything that you want to do with that.
All right. We got to move on.